Already Glock and other manufacturers are taking steps to protect people who might be at risk from people converting Glocks into machine guns. So Glock is taking affirmative steps to make sure that their guns can't be converted with aftermarket parts.
That didn't take very long, did it? Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, NRA certification of multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. If you like channel, like content, what I do, you can support me with a link. Everything's appreciated. Online store, it's open. CGB20 will get you 20% off, free shipping. Connecticut residents, you got to pay that sales tax. But CGB20 gets you 20% off. Let's talk about this. And I have done a few stories concerning not only Glock abandoning its third, fourth, and fifth generation lines of guns, but coming out with new VCOMP, but also California banning Glocks from being sold because of their ability to be modified with the use of illegal switches, which changed them technically into machine pistols. The VCOMP line was supposed to address that, and attorney generals, especially the one here, made a big deal about Glock changing its design. Well, already out in the market, and according to multiple reports, there is now a new switch that can be used with the VCOMP. This, of course, we knew, it did take a genius to know that this was going to happen. But there are bigger implications behind this than simply going, ha ha, you people did all that for nothing. Because we got to be damn careful. Let me bring you into here real quick. Now, as I said, they speculated that Glock got rid of the third, fourth, and fifth generation double stack guns because of the switch and put out the VCOMP line. Some people say it was a marketing strategy to kind of consolidate their inventory. But many, like myself, said it was basically political pressure being put on them. And they made this gun into VCOMP, and boom, somebody makes a switch that can work with it. But Glock has been facing intense legal and political pressure over illegal conversion devices. Anti-gun politicians, prosecutors, and plaintiffs' attorneys have tried to blame Glock for the behavior of criminals using contraband parts the company doesn't manufacture or sell. If the V series was intended in part to show that Glock was doing something about the switch issue, whether to placate lawmakers, fend off lawsuits, or both, then these new reports put that strategy on shaky ground, and that new report being that these switches can now be used with the VCOMP. There may be a silver lining, however. Reports suggest that this new Glock switch does require modification to the V-Series handgun itself. This could alleviate the legal pressure, as it takes the claim from Glock, makes a handgun that is easily converted to full auto, to Glock, like every other gun manufacturer, makes a gun that can be modified to full auto. In short, redesigning the pistol doesn't change the motives or behavior of criminals. It doesn't fix the core problems anti-gun activists are complaining about. It simply gives Glock a buffer between the legal attack and their famous handgun design. Okay, but don't worry, they're still going to complain and bitch about it. But here's the bigger issue, and this is what we really should be focusing on right now. The VCOMP is not safe from being modified. California just banned Glocks. I expect this Glock ban to expand to other states. I expect them to take this on. The usual players, Illinois, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, go back to the West Coast, Washington State. Expect them to do this. But the VCOMP is not safe from being modified, which means they can turn around and say, well, we're not going to allow you to sell the VCOMPs either. And then it opens the door for them to expand. As I pointed out in another story, Ruger is under intense pressure from the Attorney General here in Connecticut because this RXM pistol, which is based on Glock's idea.
I just sent a letter to Ruger, which is based here in Connecticut, asking them what they're going to do to make sure that their pistols cannot be converted into machine guns. They have a model called the RXM that can still accept aftermarket accessories to turn it into a live automatic fire machine gun. But what's Ruger going to do? We need Ruger to step up and do the right thing to keep people safe.
There's also the Daria DY9. But I see this going further into other handguns and models. M&P Smith & Wesson. You go back to the Smith & Wesson SDs. XD Springfields. It could expand to any gun. They can point to any gun and say, oh, that could be easily modified, so we're going to ban it. Which, of course, is a violation of the Constitution. It's in violation of Heller 1 and 2. But once again, these states don't care. They will pass these laws first and then use taxpayers' money to defend it later. The fact that this VComp has now been exploited by the switch opens the door for more bans. That's the part we should be worrying about. We can laugh at the fact that they're idiots and we know this, and they banned a gun for no other reason than to say, well, it can be modified, but now they have fodder and more room to say other guns can be modified. And there's nothing the manufacturers can do to stop this modification, so we're just not going to allow those guns to be sold in whatever state takes on this ideal. And a number of them will do it. That's where we should be worrying. Now, I did find the video. I can't post it in this video because they'll age restrict it or ban it outright. But there is, sure enough, it's a VComp. I don't know who did this, but it's a VComp Glock. They're showing you the Glock. They're showing you the switch on the back. And they pull the trigger and it's full auto. That's not good. Just because of what I stated earlier. This is going to open the door for the anti-gunners to simply say, these guns cannot be fail-safed where they can't be modified. So we're just not going to allow them to be sold for the interest of public safety. That's the road we're going down. But it always comes back to criminal activity. They never address criminal activity, ever. We're going to ban these guns from being sold legally. We're not going to address the illegal use of them. But expect, and this is just my psychic friends hotline take on this, expect the VComp in certain states to not be sold simply because of this. Just right along with the 3rd and 4th generation Glocks. That Glock has already taken off the market for civilian use. That's the problem with this. So, but let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or things that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.